Hi friends, this is Mrs. Heather, and today we get to learn about the 10 Commandments. These are so exciting because they are words from our God who loves us, who made us, and who's with us every single day. And these rules, they're not just rules to follow, but they're instructions from our awesome God to help us as we seek to love Him, to serve Him, and to make choices that honor Him in everything we do and say each day. So let's get started. Tell me about the 10 Commandments. Number 1, thou shalt have no other gods before me. So we're going to put one finger up because it's the first commandment, but also because how many true gods are there? There is one true God, and there are no other gods before Him. So as we say that, we're going to push our finger forward as far as we can reach to symbolize there is nothing else. God is first. He gets first place, and there's no other God, and there's nothing else before Him. So, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Number 2, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. For this, we're going to pretend like we're building and do the sign for make or build to help us remember there's nothing that we can build with our own hands that replaces God. There's nothing else that we can do or make or see here on earth that we should worship, right? Because there is how many gods? One true God, right? And so along with our first commandment, our second is thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Number 3 is thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. For this, we're just going to take our 3 fingers, put them together, and put them close to our lips to help us remember that this is something we need to follow with our tongue, with our lips, and our speech, right? We will not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Number 3, not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Good job. Number 4 is to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. So to do this, we're just going to put our hands together like we're praying and bow our heads a little bit because that's a holy moment, and that can help us remember that we are keeping the Sabbath day holy, just like a holy moment of prayer, and it's sacred before God. Number 4, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Number 5 is to honor thy father and thy mother. Now, especially as kids, and even sometimes as adults, one way that we can honor our father and mother is to obey them. And so we're just going to sign the hand yes, because one way to honor our father and mother, especially as children, is to be obedient, right? When our parents are following the Lord and we are following them, we are being obedient to them and also to God. And we're saying yes. We're not complaining, arguing, or saying no. I will not leave my room. Hopefully, you're saying yes to your mom and dad. So honor thy father and thy mother. And we'll just do the yes. With that, it is that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. And we'll just put our hands out to symbolize giving something away, because the Lord gives us the land, and He gives us so much more. Great job. So let's review really quickly the first 5. Do you remember? Are you ready? Okay. Number 1, have no other gods before me. Number 2, not make unto thee any graven image. Number 3, not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Number 4, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And number 5, honor thy father and thy mother. Good job. We are chugging through. We are halfway there. Let's keep going. Let's go to number 6. Number 6, thou shalt not murder. Now, this is the sign for kill and death. And so you put your thumbs out and flip your hands from alive to dead. All right, so thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. For this, we're going to link our fingers, our thumb and pointer fingers, leaving our other 3 up. We're going to link them together so that it's an unbroken bond between the 2 circles. it makes me think of marriage between the two wedding rings, how they're linked, how in marriage you become one with your husband and wife. And God says what God has separated, let nothing, what God has joined together, let nothing separate. What God has joined together, let nothing separate. And so that number 7, not commit adultery, has to do with keeping the beauty, the sacred vow of marriage that God has intended between husband and wife together, and letting nothing separate that. This is also the sign for united, and you'll see that at other times as well. Okay, number 6, we had thou shalt not murder. Number 7, we have thou shalt not commit adultery. Number 8, thou shalt not steal. And this one is pretty simple and pretty fun. We're just going to reach out and grab something like we're taking it really quickly. We're trying to steal it, which we should not do, right? According to this, thou shalt not steal. So number 8, thou shalt not steal. Number 9, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. So with this one, bearing false witness has to do with lying, with telling something that is not true about your neighbor. So we're going to just put our finger to our lips and go out. And if you want to add on to that, the sign for a lie is your hand flipped down under your chin, abruptly moving over to the side. So thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. You shouldn't say anything that is false, that is a lie against your neighbor. Number 9, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And number 10, you've made it to number 10. Number 10, you can take that hand and go up, thou shalt not covet. So when I think of covet, I think of seeing something my neighbor has and then thinking that I really, really want it. And thou shalt not covet. So we're going to put our hand up like we're seeing something that's not ours, that someone else on the other side of the fence or wherever you're looking has. And we get really jealous, which is a feeling that we have in our mind. So number 10, thou shalt not covet. Great job. I know there is a lot to remember here. So I hope that these hand motions help us as we practice and as we hide God's word in our hearts, especially with these 10 commandments. I'm going to go through number 6 through 10 one more time for review, and then you can just keep practicing at home, all right? All right. What are commandments 6 through 10? Number 6, thou shalt not murder. Number 7, thou shalt not commit adultery. Number 8, thou shalt not steal. Number 9, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Number 10, thou shalt not covet. You did it! All 10 commandments. Keep practicing at home and learning these, having fun as you do it. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.